Hello, my name is Dr. Sandra Rios, and I am going to be providing you with detailed instructions on how to write your project memo. The project memo is the final project for English 3236, and it consists of a website or a 10 to 12 page proposal. You can choose doing either one or the other, even though there's nothing wrong with doing both. This final project replaces the final exam that you would normally take at the end of the semester during final exam week. The topic for your project is an environmental problem that affects Puerto Rico and a solution that you will propose for that problem. I've always chosen environmental problems because they are highly technical problems most of the time, and as a result involve using technical and scientific and technological information to a large variety of different audiences. In addition, the solution is something that I would like people to think about. The solutions to the environmental problems the idea is to think, to analyze the different solutions that can be implemented in order to solve these problems. So, your website or your proposal will present an environmental problem and a corresponding solution to that problem. The purpose of the project memo is to officially inform me about the topic of your website or your proposal. Once you have submitted your project memo, you will not be able to change your topic. You might be able to modify the focus, but you cannot, for example, if you've decided to talk about green roofs or brown fields, change it to junk food, diet, and nutrition. If you don't like the topic you're working in, then you need to keep the general topic, but refocus it into a different area. Since you are writing a memo, you need to include the following information in the heading. All memos have a heading, and the heading usually contains the following 4 features: a to-line, and in this case you're writing the memo to me; a from line, in other words, who is the memo from? In this line you need to put the names of all the members in your group. Now, not all of you are going to be working in a group. Some of you are going to be working individually. So in that case, you will put just your name. But I need to see the names of the 2 or 3 people who are in the group if you are going to work with a partner or partners. The date. In this part of the proposal, you can put the date it's due, or you could even put the date in which you wrote the memo. It doesn't make any difference, but you need to have a date. The date will give us a general idea, or a specific idea actually, of when either you wrote or submitted the memo. In the subject line, or sometimes you'll see the words RE, regarding, you need to put the title of your project. I need to know what you're writing your project or proposal, or what the topic of or subject of your website is. The instructions ask you for the project memo to compose a 2 or 3 page memo that does the following, and I'm repeating myself here a little bit. The project memo should propose a topic for the technical website or the proposal that you will create on an environmental problem in Puerto Rico and its solutions, or a solution. And in this part of your proposal, you need to state the main idea. You need to have a declarative sentence that states both the subject and what you're going to say about the subject in your project memo and in your project, your website or your proposal. And like I said, the subject has to be some sort of a problem that you see affecting Puerto Rico. And again, when I talk about writing a main idea, you could also call it a thesis statement. It should be a well-written declarative sentence. Sometimes you can write 2 or 3 sentences that state the main idea and then give a little bit more supporting information about the main idea. But I want to see a well-written declarative sentence that states the main idea in this section. I would like to see background information related to this problem. I think you need to be specific. You need to state or cite specific background information that you feel explains or presents information about the causes and effects that have resulted in the environmental problem that you are describing. Here we talk about another method of development. So far in this class, we've talked about definition, we've talked about comparison and contrast, we've used classification. Now, I want you to use cause and effect. If we have a problem, something caused it. What are the causes of the problem? And what are the effects of the problem? So in order to be able to discuss the background information to the environmental problem that you've chosen, you need to deal with causes and effects. And you need to demonstrate that you have done research on this problem, the causes and its effects, by citing outside sources of information. Do not depend upon common knowledge. I mean, many times it's very easy to write about something that you know about, but you have no really in-depth knowledge about it. You write about what's in your head, what's in your mind, what people have told you, what you heard on television. But all of this is very common and very general and does not demonstrate any really detailed information or that you've done any research and acquired any specialized knowledge about the problem and its causes, and that we don't all know. So I expect in this part of your project memo to see you cite outside sources of information, use parenthetical citations, and at the end of your memo have a works cited list. Your project memo should also have a purpose statement. You need to explain the purpose for your project. Now, this purpose statement can be in a separate section, and you can just write your purpose statement by itself, but in your introduction, you should also include the purpose statement as well. As you will see in a few minutes, there's nothing wrong with stating and restating and stating even once more your purpose statements. Writers often repeat key points, as you have heard about in the PowerPoint presentation on organizing information. Often, technical writers will repeat key points. This allows them to remind their reader, their audience, about what their main ideas are and what the purpose is for their technical document. So I expect to see the purpose statement in your introductory paragraph, but you should also just write the purpose statement, allowing me to understand clearly and concisely why you're doing this project and what you intend to accomplish. You can write purpose statements, and I should maybe have put a well-written purpose statement here in which you say the purpose of this project is to create awareness about coral reef bleaching You can use the word purpose. There's no reason why you can't explain or directly tell your reader the purpose of this project or this proposal or this website is. But you can also use other words, words such as describes, this proposal describes, or this website describes, or this paper explains, or this study presents or demonstrates. So you can also use other words other than the word purpose. And one of the most important points about a purpose statement is it explains to your reader what you intend to do in your document, or what your focus is in your document. Barking chihuahuas. All right. Whenever there's a problem, there are always solutions. And usually there's more than just one solution to the problem. What I would like you to do is to list in this section at least 4 potential solutions. And then I want you to identify or single out the solution that you feel is the most feasible or attractive. And this is especially true if you're writing a proposal, because the solution that you identify is a solution you're going to propose in your proposal. I would like you to briefly discuss the pros and cons of each solution, and then make clear which solution you would like to promote on your website, or what solution you like to propose in your proposal. If you are creating a website, then I need you to give me the link to your website. So you need to create a preliminary website. Just open your account for your website, and you can use Weebly or Wix. But feel free to use any other platform. I'm not interested in having you use Weebly or Wix. I'm interested in having you create a website. And there are many different places where you can find a organization or a group which will allow you to host a website. Some of them you have to pay for. Some of them might come with your internet service provider. I don't know who your internet service provider is. But if you don't have an internet service provider, or do not have some other option for creating a website, and you don't want to pay to contract the services of a website host, then use Weebly or Wix. And I created a couple of years ago a website, and I put the link up at the top of this page. It's http://chemtrailconundrum.weebly.com. If you copy and paste that into your browser, you should be able to see the website that I created about chemtrails. Okay, so please open up a website, provide the link. You can either provide the link in this memo, or when you submit this assignment, you can also include the link as a separate submission. All right. I would also suggest that you put a little content in Weebly. For instance, the introduction to your project memo is something that you can put on the home page of your website. Okay, so start your website by opening an account, and then by copying and pasting information from this memo, the memo you're creating for this assignment, into the website. And use textual design elements. Use headings, fonts, white space, or other color space to frame your text and graphics. In other words, start experimenting with the creation of your website. I think you might enjoy doing this. Now, the deadline for submitting the memo through Canvas is March 28th, 2016. And like I just said, not only in your website, but in your memo itself, you can include, within reason, I remember this is only a 2 to 3 page memo, digital photos, clip art, color, animation. You can use tables, graphs, charts, maps. Incorporate visual design elements with the textual elements, not only in your home page, but on the canvas, on the memo, the memo itself. You don't have to just do all text. But again, since it's only a 2 to 3 page memo, you can't do everything. Just tastefully experiment with incorporating some graphics into your memo, and feel free to do as much as you want on your home page. Make sure that you use the ABC format for organizing information and document design elements. In the PowerPoint presentation, Organizing Information, which you may or may not have viewed already, I explain what the ABC format is. Underline or highlight the main idea and the purpose statement in your project memo. In other words, I want you to take your cursor in your Word document and I want you to highlight the main idea. I want you to take your cursor and I want you to highlight the purpose statement in your project memo so I can see where they are. I mean, I'll be able to identify them without your highlighting them. I should be able to identify them without you highlighting them, but I would greatly appreciate it if you would take a few seconds in which to make it easier for me to find that information. So, in conclusion, your memo should contain the following sections with corresponding headings. You should have a section that has a heading Introduction, then, which is then followed by a heading that says Background Information. A third heading, Purpose Statement. Another heading, a fourth heading, Problems and Solutions. A fifth heading that says Website, if applicable. And finally, a sixth heading that says Works Cited. If you would like to add other headings, feel free to do so if you feel that they're necessary, but you should have at least these 6 headings. And please don't forget to view the YouTube PowerPoint video titled Organizing Information, because in this video I will explain to you how to use the ABC format for organizing information and give you an example of a proposal in which the writers develop and present well-written main ideas, purpose statements, and include a roadmap or an outline of the rest of their document. Thank you very much.